Hello, my name is Danielle, and I'm the founder of To Her Beasting. I made this brand because I want to share the deaf and hard of hearing all over USA, their story and their struggles and their challenges. So you will be meeting my good dear friend named Abby. She and I met in Gallaudet University. So here is the video to be sharing her side of the story and her lifestyle. Okay, so how old were you when you lost your hearing?
So my parents didn't realize I was very behind, like in language. So really, like they got me tested at starting at like 3, and then by the time I was 3.5, they realized she's hard of hearing, and that's when I got my first hearing aid. So was I born with it? I don't know.
Did you ask your parents about it?
Well, the testing for like the screening for newborns was not available until the year after I was born. I was born in 93, and that was available starting in 94. They just never tested for it. They just, everything was fine. And then they just noticed I was walking late. I walked at 15 months. I was just developmentally behind, whatever. So people were just, what's wrong with Abby? It's still to this I think to this day it's a little bit hurtful to say about a baby, like what's wrong with her, but speech, testing, everything, like all the tests you can think of, I had. So that's when they figured out about 3.5. She's hard of hearing, and yeah.
What are some challenges you face at school?
So growing up is people looking at me with the things in my ear. What's that thing? So I catch myself now is always hiding my hair in front of my ears so people can't see. And I wanted colors, so I felt proud, but at the same time I was ashamed. So that was one big challenge. Always having to sit in the front of the classroom, meaning all of my friends were sitting in the back. I always needed sitting down one on one with teachers. I always had to lean, especially during my favorite classes, to have speech therapy. It was embarrassing, just embarrassing being the only deaf kid and knowing, understanding I struggled or pronouncing words wrong. My family would mock me. Everyone would just mock me because I couldn't speak right. And it was just, yeah, that was very frustrating.
I do have a question about your names that you covered. Do you still feel ashamed to this day?
No, I'm very proud of my hearing aids. I'm not sure when, maybe 19, 20, I started feeling proud because I met my now husband who has hearing aids, and I realized I'm not alone. And one time I met a mom at a beach resort, and she had hearing aids and they were colorful. And she said that she wears it for her son. And I was like, okay. So I just painted my daughter, her doll, hearing aids pink. So that way she feels the same. So I love it now. I'm only, yeah, there you go. You can see it now.
The cute colors, the cute
Oh,
colors.
thank you.
How long does it take for you to learn ASL? Because you did share that you didn't learn until after you got in Gallaudet, Norman.
Right. So I did go to another university before Gallaudet. I started learning one class. It was only that just one class because I needed a language or a free elective. So I picked sign language and then I started teaching myself. So really I started at 19 and then I went into Gallaudet probably a few years. But like I started picking it up quick because I turned off my hearing aid and I really wanted to immerse in the sign language, deaf culture. But it was tough because a lot of people didn't want to teach me because it was, I'm not deaf enough or I look like I'm hearing. And it was annoying and frustrating, but probably a few years. I think by the time I was like a junior, senior, maybe, I feel like I picked it up pretty well.
Why are some reason why you don't like cozy pants? Because then you did mention it in the video, you did wear them. So why?
Yeah, trying to explain that to almost everyone, not being able to find someone who's supportive of me. Um, when I got pregnant, I noticed that I started getting headaches more often. So anytime my head hurts or something, cochlear off, because that helps. It's the first thing I do to try to eliminate whatever is stimulating pain or whatever. I also worked with deaf and hard of hearing, so I didn't need it. I could sign every day with my coworkers. I was pretty much the only person who could speak at my work, so I didn't need to hear. So I stopped wearing it when I was pregnant and then couldn't even find it when I was getting ready to have my daughter. So that was a little bit frustrating because I couldn't hear. And then I just never really wear it. And I work, and I'm the only deaf person at work, and I use the phone, but I just choose not to wear it. I can't really give you a good reason why. I don't hate it, but I don't prioritize it. It's too much for me. And it's a lot of sound, it's overwhelming. And honestly, I'm used to not hearing anything on this side. My husband's fine to me. People always look at me so I can read their lip. They always speak up. So I just, I will figure out a good reason why, I guess. I don't know. It's just my personal, I like being deaf. I don't know.
So you're hard of hearing. Do you identify yourself as hard of hearing, right?
Yes, but honestly, I think labels for me, I don't feel like I fit in. Because like you have like capital D deaf, then you have like the lowercase deaf, and I'm proud to be deaf. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I'm not like, oh, speaking is bad. Like I will speak, I will sign. I'm like a mix. I feel like I don't fit in anywhere, but I guess I just tell people I'm deaf. But like a lot of people just think, oh, but you speak. Oh, but you hear me talking, and it's like, well, I guess you can say I'm hard of hearing, but at the end of the day, I feel deaf because I can't really hear anything. If I sleep on my hearing aid side, I can't hear because I'm deaf. So hard of hearing, I guess that's fine. I don't know.
I was gonna ask you, which is more challenging and frustrating for you, in hearing world or deaf world? Like why?
Which is more challenging? I don't know. Probably the hearing world, to be honest, because it's like, even though I've been immersed in that world since I've been growing up, I've been in the hearing world more than the deaf world, but it seems like no one understands me. And it's like, just with the mask, that was probably the most frustrating because people didn't understand. And even though, so now I went to the dentist recently and I was like, hey, like I have a hard time hearing, like, can you put on the mask? And they were like, no. And I was like, okay. So like I can speak up and I'm like, okay. Like in the hospital, getting ready to have my daughter, they all respected me and they took their mask down in the hospital. But in a dentist office, you can't. So like the communication barriers are probably the most frustrating because I function as a different perspective as another deaf person. Like if I say I'm deaf, people, I don't know. I guess there's just not enough education about how to accommodate me. So I try to like teach people. I think the communication barrier is probably the most frustrating, is because people just don't understand how frustrating it is, especially when I don't wear my cochlear and I don't want to. And if my hearing aid dies, or if there's too much feedback, or if it's so loud and overwhelming and there's a lot of beeps going on and everything. So probably just sound and communication, everything is just frustrating for me, I guess, probably the most, yeah.
I'm so sorry you're struggling with that, and I hope things get better, after people hear your story. So you're fine.
Well, to be honest, I think math really taught everyone, only me and everyone else, is that the masks are not only oh, I didn't realize, deaf people really struggle, but it's just everyone. Like I've met people with like perfect hearing and they're like, wow, like the mask, because like I'm so used to like looking at your mouth and everything. And I'm like, yeah, but like there's still not enough education. There's still not enough understanding and everything. But I think in a good way, the mask did teach everyone that. So just hopefully it just continues to improve. But yeah.
Who has been most enmeshed in your life, dead or alive?
The most, maybe my mom. Like growing up, I remember her advocating for me. It's not easy to be a parent of a kid who's different than your other kid. It's not easy. But I remember every IEP meeting, every speech therapy, every possible kind of appointment or whatever. My mom was always there advocating for me, making sure everything was good. My family was really good about, can you hear? Or going to a movie theater, like, do you want the headphone? Like, do you need captions? Like, it was pretty nice. And I remember specifically my mom, she didn't want to send me to a deaf school because she wanted me to be normal. Maybe that's not the right word. She wanted me to just try to go to a regular school just to see. I think at the time, deaf schools were really small and it was really far. And she didn't want me to be very far and isolated, I guess. I think there was a lot of stigma around that. I don't know. Maybe I'm choosing the wrong words here. But basically, my mom wanted to make sure I had everything. So I had double hearing aid, I had FM system, I had speech therapy. I did have a sign language teacher come to the house often for like a year. And then because I could learn to speak, they stopped teaching the sign. And my mom, she did say that she regrets that. She wishes that we continue to learn to sign because she realizes now really impactful. But my mom just, even through my cochlear journey, she's one of the people that gets frustrated because I don't wear my cochlear. Um, but no, she's just been very supportive of me um through my whole life, like just growing up and my journey with hearing everything. And yeah, just even, with my cochlear practicing, like, hey, like, say the word this, whatever, like, it, yeah, she cries about it. I don't know.
Um, how was your 10 years old self would react to what you do now?
Well, I remember at 10, I think every kid goes through an awkward phase. Um, I remember at 10, my mom was trying to get me a cochlear because I was really struggling to hear, but they told her I was not deaf enough. I hate that phrase. Just dumb, if you ask me. But I think I would be shocked because my parents had just kind of got divorced a year and a half prior. So I struggled a lot with just trying to figure out like where I am, trying to get used to my hearing aids. So I think I would probably be shocked because I never thought I would like my hearing aids or I would accept myself being deaf because I didn't know anyone, so I didn't have any representation. I didn't have anyone who looked like me, or, I was always told I can't. I always heard negative things. So I think now I have a better outlook on life. So I think I would probably be shocked, but also proud. I would hope so.
You should be. Yeah.
Right, right.
So, what do you do in your career right now? What do you do?
So right now it's just a temporary thing until I can figure it out. But I work for a credit union as a representative. So people will call. Yes, I use headphones. And they're really like loud, they're really good and powerful. $2 headphone that my boss was like, no hesitation, like, do I buy? He was just, which ones do you like? And then he ordered it and it was like there in like 2 days. And I'm like, okay. So it's really nice. It's frustrating trying to hear people like with accents or just man voices specifically are probably the hardest for me. But anyway, people will call, I need help, like, activating my debit card, or, my card was declined. Can you figure out why? Or when am I getting my deposit? So really just general basic questions. And again, it was just a temporary job for now. I work from home, so that's nice. So I work every 4 days. That's a blessing. So, I can rotate. So I've had the past 2 days off. So it's nice.
And you said that you used to work as a teacher. Do you want to share that a little bit?
Yeah. So I did go to school for teaching. I used to be a toddler teacher, and that was at the YMCA growing up. I always helped my mom, and then I started actually like teaching. And then when I went to Gallaudet, I took learned some elementary education, deaf education. So I did like a few teaching internships, and then while I was finishing up my master's, I was teaching toddler. I think there were one. Yeah, they were toddler. And then COVID hit, and that was really hard. And then I found a job because my husband had got a job in Raleigh, so we had moved. Then I started working for the deaf and hard of hearing, basically providing deaf alarm clock, or which is called a weather alert radio. It helps people if there's like a storm coming and what to do if there's like no power, and then like telephones, hearing aids. That was a really good job. And then we had to move again, so I couldn't continue working there. So that's why now I'm with the credit union. So, but yeah, teaching, I kind of didn't really like fall in love with it, wanted to continue it. I kind of got like burnt out, unfortunately. So I don't teach anymore. I feel like I quit a lot of things and it's frustrating.
You know that teacher always get burns out, so that's pretty much common. So,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. One thing I hated about Gallaudet, and there's no hate to them, but it's just I struggled with the testing. It's a lot of required tests, and I struggled with the English, which I don't understand because English is my first language, but I struggled. And with the time, it had like a clock right here. You could hide it. Then the last 5 minutes would show. It was blinking. And it was like, you done? Are you done? Are you done? And it was like, and it felt annoying and frustrating. And I failed and I failed and I failed. So I never got my teaching license. And that's embarrassing, honestly. I have my master's in deaf education, but not a license to teach. That's a big reason why I don't, because I kind of was just like, yeah, grad school was like really hard for me. But I just remember asking, hey, I need help. Hey, I need help. Finally, they pulled someone from the counseling department, and she taught us like testing tips. And she was amazing. And I did finally pass the English one, but then it was time for the content one, and I just failed and I just never tried again. So I just wish that, deaf or not, you should have more, how. Okay.
Brady's coming away.
Okay. Just good husband communication with me. But yeah, that was just one thing that was just frustrating because I and other people were just struggling with the testing, and I just never good at tests, and I just wanted more support and help, and it was just study. You gotta study, and it's like, okay, so.
what is the most annoying thing that people do when they know you're deaf or hard of hearing?
Do you read lips?
Facts. Facts. Yeah.
No, I read lips well. That's not the most annoying thing, but maybe it's when I tell someone I read lips and then they ignore that. Then they turn around and like, and I'm like, I'm a very passive person. I need to change that. I'm working on it. I don't like confrontation. I don't like to, hey, like, I'm learning how to continue. My husband, he's very good at that. I'm good at advocating for him because he hears low, I hear high. So he struggled with women voices. I struggle with man voices. We don't understand each other. Why would I fall in love with someone who, no, I don't know. But it's frustrating when I hey, like, I don't understand. And then it's fine. I don't need to know. It's not important. So it's frustrating when people are not clear and I can't hear them and I'm just frustrated. And then I just internally just freak out, just thinking it's fine, it's fine. And it's like, it's really not. But it is frustrating when people don't seem to meet me halfway. I'm already meeting them halfway by hearing, and then to try to read lips, and then to try to like turn it up. And it's not, turning up is not going to help. And it just seems like, I don't know. That's probably the most frustrating thing is when it's like, I got to try more. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like we do a lot of work and they don't even realize that. Like, me, that's to happen because we're doing a lot to make sure we understand, as clear as possible. So I get it.
It's putting hearing it on and putting the batteries in, and then to try to like train and get your brain ready. That's a lot of work to hear, and I don't think people realize that. It's like glasses, but maybe it's not like glasses, but I don't think people recognize it because half the time you can't see it. But I don't know.
Okay, so last question for the interview. What is your favorite thing about yourself? Well, two more questions, sorry.
Oh, it's fine. Do you want like specific favorite thing, like related to my hearing, or?
In general, just in general.
Well, to be honest, I have a hard time with my self-esteem right now. I'm going through depression and everything, so I'm learning how to love myself again. But I think I love the fact that I a lot of people refer to me as a sunshine that try to make other people happy. I try to, compliment people. Um, just like, hey, like you're beautiful, or just finding one small thing like, hey, like your shoes are really nice. It's like, wow, because it's like you don't know what people are going through. And a lot of time their satisfaction, their happiness is like perfect for me because it's like that. So maybe it's just my heart. I don't know. You asked me one thing, I don't know. It's like a death thing. You can always go boom, and then it's like straight to the point, Abby. Um, I don't know, my heart maybe, because I feel like I have a good heart.
And believe it or not, I do see you as a sunshine because you radiance. You radiance.
Yeah, I just need to radiate it for myself. Um, but yeah, I'm working on that. But yeah, I'm working on it. I just became a mom. We just moved. So a lot of changes happening. But yeah, I feel like the sunshine is one thing. It's just always, that positivity, that, inspirational words and everything. I currently, not like TMI, but I breastfeed my daughter and I donate my milk to a twin mom. And I write on the bag, because you have to write like the time, the day, but I always write like a simple message, something like, you're a great mom, or you're doing a great job. And it's nice because the twin mom was like, oh my God. And then she gave me some wipes, just, like, thank you, thank you. And she wrote on them, she said, you're a great mom. And she didn't need to do that, but it was nice to see that my sunshine came back to me. And I was just like, that kind of boosted my self-esteem a little bit. So yeah.
Kindness too. They give it back to your kindness too.
Yeah. I was really like, it just like felt so nice.
It's like you give out the positive vibes and kindness, you will get the same thing back to you. So you just
Right. That's not the reason why I do it, is to hope to get it back. But if I do it more, maybe it'll spread to other people. Because there's so much hate in this world. There's so much negative things going on. Just everything in the news, just everything I see, my whole TikTok timeline, just wow, it's the school shooting, it's this, it's the economy, it's inflation, it's everything. And it's just everything is so stressful, and it's easy to just go into that negative mindset, and it's like I share like a joke or something, or I just, hey, like you're doing a great job. And it's like, wow, like thank you. Like I didn't know like I needed that. And it's like, yeah, we all need it. You can easily tell my daughter, like, you're doing a great job, like you're crawling, like I need that too. Like, even though like you woke up today, that's amazing. Like, I know that's normal, but you woke up today because yesterday you struggled, but you woke up today. I sound like a motivational speaker. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. I'm done.
That's okay. So, one more question. What would you want to advise to hearing people that you want them to know more about their struggles or whatever? What you want them to know, and so that they can help or change their perspective in that world? What was it?
I would just say, I don't know. That's a hard. That's kind of a hard question because I feel like it's a lot. Like, there's a lot of people who are just common sense. I understand, how to accommodate readily, but I honestly wish everyone would learn sign language. Like, even if it was just a little bit. Like, my husband and I were teaching our daughter sign language. And my goal is that some people will start learning more sign because I'm hoping that she will pick it up and then it will kind of force people to learn sign. But I think it's just not only that, but I also just wish people would see me. It's not like, my God, Steph, I can't imagine. And I'm like, what? Like people like feel bad for me. Like you were forced to speak. And I'm like, what? I love being able to speak. Like I'm not gonna do it, but I can rap. Eminem, I can rap a few of his songs, not well, like speaking well, no, but like I can memorize all the words. That is actually one thing I love. I love writing. Like I do a lot of things that typical deaf people can't do because a lot of people have put that barrier up that, can't. And I guess it's that. I think I would say that. It's just I wish that some people would realize that deaf people can do a lot of things. It is possible with the right kind of tool, like tool hearing aid that have helped me able to hear music. Cochlear helped me able to hear different sounds that I never heard before. Like a bird. A bird is a beautiful sound at the same time it's annoying. A blinker in the car, oh my God, like click, 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 like that's amazing. So I don't know, I just wish people would just stop assuming that we can. It just, but it also kind of motivates me to say I can, watch me. So I don't know. It's probably not a good answer, but I don't know. But yeah.
And what was your advice to give to the deaf people? What would you give advice to them? Can be anything.
Maybe be more accepting of people wanting to learn sign language.
Really?
I mean, the sense of, for example, me going in my freshman year, I wanted to learn sign, but they were like, because I was not from a deaf school, I'm not from a deaf family, and because I use hearing aid and I spoke. So it was kind of like, no. So in the sense of not only that, but like, hey, like, I also don't like the term hearing people. I don't think it's not so much appropriate. I understand, like, you can hear, okay, fine, like, you're hearing, but it's like hearing people, and it's like, I don't know. Just like, I remember a lot of people be like, oh my God, like, interpreting is like, but those interpreters can help you converse, but help you be able to, help people who can hear communicate with you. say, because it's not really the deaf person, it's for the person who can hear. So I think just be more accepting. Like, if you want to learn sign language, I'll gladly teach you. But if you want to learn the bad word, come on. Or like the dirty word, come on, stop. But no, anyone who wants to learn sign language, ask me. I'll give you a list of resources. I will refer them to you, and they can look at your videos and they can say, "Oh my God, she's a great teacher." No, but seriously, just be more accepting that not everyone in this world is awful, and some people really do want to learn sign language, and be nice about correcting their mistakes. Because I remember I signed sometimes like this, sometimes, and I remember my teacher blasted me. Oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing in the middle of class in my grad school. I'm not gonna say the teacher's name, but she was just like, "Why are you signing wrong? It's sometimes." And she like literally made an example of it. I understand it was a linguistics class, but at the same time, it was like everyone was looking at me, and then I was like, how often was I signing all the wrong words? I always tell people, if I'm signing wrong, let me know. I don't care. I don't want to disrespect the language. This is a language that's my second language, and this is my language that I want to learn. So this whole time I've been signing sometimes wrong, and I'll never forget that moment, whatever. I just wish people were just more, I don't know. Okay, back to you. Do you have any more questions?
No, I first thank you for, be part of the interview, and thank you for sharing your side of story in your life, and so that other people can understand the deaf world and everyone their story, because we all do not have the same story.
Right, 100% agree. And it's always great seeing you again. You physically stay here. Feel like we just grown so much, but I hope people learn from this video. I guess I don't know, but you are amazing. Continue with your page. I love watching it. I'll continue supporting you in any way I can.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anything else? Okay. Have a great day.